For the Flower Mound Lacrosse Association, setting a foundation here at Bakersfield Park is their current mission. But what's their ultimate goal? We're at the State Fair of Texas. I got my cowboy hat, I got my boots, I got the Big Tex cup. It doesn't really get any more Texan than this. Back to school may be around the corner, but for students here in southern Oklahoma, the idea of school may not be hot, but that does not mean they can't look it. While everyone's focus will be on the stadium behind me come 2026, the North Central Texas Council of Governments will look to the stadium next door as it is set to host the MLB All-Star Game this summer. $3.3 billion is the amount of federal money the state of Texas was awarded to expand broadband infrastructure across the state. However, due to federal regulations, not all Texans are reaping the benefits, as some smaller telecommunications providers in rural Texas fear they may not be able to receive this funding. Cigarettes are out and smoke-free alternatives are in. Nicotine products like disposable vapes and Zyn pouches are taking the place of cigarettes for U.S. smokers at a faster than expected rate. And another piece of legislation is in limbo, the TikTok ban. It was passed by the House and now heads to the Senate. It could determine if there will be a nationwide ban of the popular app. A plane was found flipped upside down this morning in Sherman. The Texas Department of Public Safety troopers and investigators from the Federal Aviation Administration are looking into what might have caused this.
It's the middle of February, and you know what that means.
Yes, Valentine's Day is almost here, but what I am not loving is this weather. Our weather anchor is here to tell us his full weather report. What you got for us, Cade?
Just super excited for the World Cup to be here in Dallas and get to host some games.
The World Cup is coming to Dallas. Well, actually, it's coming to Arlington as AT&T Stadium is set to host 9 games in 2026, the most out of any host city. While everyone's focus will be on the stadium behind me come 2026, the North Central Texas Council of Governments will look to the stadium next door as it is set to host the MLB All-Star Game this summer.
So we have the All-Star Game coming. We have some soccer events as well coming this spring that aren't the World Cup, but there's some major soccer events. And so we'll be testing out some more of our transit options for those events because, again, for the World Cup, we plan on having a large transit presence.
The North Central Texas Council of Governments is an association that assists in regional planning, and they have been working with the city of Arlington in preparation for the big events coming up. One of their main focus is public transportation, or in this case, lack thereof.
In terms of transportation projects, we are doing some on the transit side related to the TRE trains, replacing some of the trains, upgrading some of the stations, looking at what technology we can put in place to help accommodate transit users as well as folks that use those technology companies like Uber and Lyft and how we engage them in the conversation.
Other areas of focus are cleanup efforts along I-30 and monitoring the construction of regional roadways. The big games may be 2 years away, but the preparation is right around the curb. Reporting from the future site of the World Cup semifinals, this is Omar Martinez, reporting for NT Daily.
Fastest growing sports right now.
It's definitely growing. It's a great sport.
It's fun to play, it's fun to watch.
Under the shadow of football, baseball, and soccer lies lacrosse, a sport often left on the sidelines.
Right now, lacrosse is just a club sport. There aren't organized leagues.
Lacrosse is currently not a UIL sport in Texas, meaning kids who want to play have to pay.
In high school, we paid for everything. We had fundraisers that we had to organize. We paid for all of our uniforms. We paid for all of our gear. The high school would not let us use any of their fields to practice.
Local clubs such as the Flower Mound Lacrosse Association try their best to make lacrosse more accessible to kids in North Texas.
Lacrosse right now is a hodgepodge of smaller associations. You have McKinney, Allen, Flower Mound, South Lake.
But unlike the other lacrosse associations in the area, Flower Mound does not have access to their local school district's facilities, forcing them to find a new home in Bakersfield Park and surrounding lots.
We currently utilize Bakersfield, the Community Activity Center, and then we have a church that we also utilize. So, you know, anytime you can have more fields to practice on and to play games on that you're not competing with other associations.
For the Flower Mound Lacrosse Association, setting a foundation here at Bakersfield Park is their current mission. But what's their ultimate goal? The association currently has to pay to rent and maintain the fields they use at Bakersfield Park, and these fields only serve 60% of the practices they hold throughout the season, which is why forming a partnership with the UIL or the local school district is crucial to help keep their operation afloat.
If it was a UIL sport, if it was more associated with the schools, there'd be a little more structure, and then obviously you'd have just a little more infrastructure with fields available.
According to the Texas High School Lacrosse League, the UIL currently has no interest in adding lacrosse. But as for the Flower Mound Lacrosse Association, they have an upcoming meeting with Louisville ISD to discuss a potential partnership. This is Omar Martinez reporting for NT Daily. UNT is home to over 47,000 students, and with that comes the need for parking, and lots of it. As for parking spaces, that's a different story. Around 85% of those 47,000 commute to UNT, meaning they live near campus or in the DFW area. Getting to campus is one thing, but for commuters, finding parking is a challenge.
It is a 7-minute drive.
It feels like 40. It's very, yeah.
Luckily for commuter students coming to campus this week, the university's off-campus student services is giving them a treat.
We do this a couple of times a year, but we're going extra out today for Commuter Appreciation Week, and we're giving away tons of food and swag and information about our office and services.
There are many events for commuters to take advantage of this week, including the housing fair by the Library Mall on Wednesday, cash cabs near the commuter lots on Thursday, and an off-campus social at the Oak Street Draft House on Friday.
This university would not exist without our commuter students. We are a commuter school. So I have made it my mission, my office mission, to really highlight and appreciate and acknowledge the very unique obstacles and challenges that our commuter students are facing.
So while fighting for a parking spot might not be an ideal way to start your day, the off-campus student services hopes to make it a little brighter. For DCTV, I'm Omar Martinez.